Hi everyone, today we're doing Watcher on TryHackMe. So let's get the IP address and put this into rust scan. So let's do rust scan -a and put in the IP address and see we straight away have 3 ports that are open. So one thing we can do is just check on what's port on port 80. Just have a quick look on that. And we can see we have a website called Cork Placements. And if we have a look here, have a look around, we can see straight away that we have that this could be local file inclusion. So we can access pages on the web page maybe. So we could test this out by doing ..backspace ..backspace to get out of the www directory on the web server and try to see if we can access or read etc password. So we can just type that in and we can see straight away we have access to at least 3 users here. We have 2 interactive users that could probably be active over SSH, and we have a 3rd user called Will, so that could be something we could look at. We could do some further enumeration like right now by just doing gobuster there for directory U for user and just put in the IP address of the web page. So let's just get the root of the web page, copy that in, paste it in. So we're going to use that URL and we're going to use this word list here on my dirbuster directory list small.txt. We can see we have an images directory and we have a CSS, if I can talk right. So we can see we have 3 users here, an FTP user, which is interesting. So we know we have 3 users in this directory. We could do some more further enumeration by just looking in the background of the page. So if we look at the page source here, we can see this is just a bootstrap template, looks like. If we look here, yes, it says get bootstrap, so we know this is probably nothing in the source code of the web page. So let's have a look again. You can see there's nothing here at all. Insignificant. So one thing we could just check for is the robots.txt, as there may be a misconfiguration on this. So straight away we can see we have a file flag1.txt and we have another file secret file do.read.txt. So we have a file here that is probably on the same directory on the web page. So since we have local file inclusion and we know that, we could probably read this web page here. So we have our first flag here, so we can put this in. So that is done. And we have a second page here, secret file do.read.txt. So let's just get that and let's get back into here. So we know we have local file inclusion on this page. So we can just get out of this page and just put that in and see what we get. Or do we get nothing? Maybe if we remove this here, we might get something else, and we do. So if we look here, we get some credentials and we have a user Will. If you saw it earlier, we could see this is the user here, Will, Matt and Toby, so there may be 3 users that compromise, plus an FTP user which we just got access to get access to root. So let's get back onto here. Let's go on to FTP. We can cancel this out as we just found something interested, so we can do FTP. If you're not sure, you could just leave this to run. That's what I did first time, but I know that's the only thing that's vulnerable on this website, as I left it to run the first time I've done this room. So let that go on and get to FTP. So FTP user, let's grab that, put that in FTP user, and the password is here, give me file 777, which is, I don't know if that's secure or not, but I guess it's not since we have access to the system. So we could get mget star, let's just get that, get file.txt2, let's get that, and let's get that. So one thing I want to say is that we may be able to upload something to here, because if you look here we have executable permissions. So we may be able to upload something to this file here. So if we go to CD files, we may be able to do something interesting. So we see we have nothing at all, but if we do lsla, we can see we have executable permissions in this directory here. So what this may indicate is that we could upload a reverse shell. So we can see we have flag 2 here, so let's get that. FTP you and me, so that's cool. I'll remove this here. So let's get back here and put that in. So put this in here, and that's our flag 2 done. So one thing we can do is just, since we have local file inclusion here, so we have LFI, we know that much. We could try to get a reverse shell through the FTP user, as we know that's on the system and we have this homes directory. So since we have a files directory here, files, we may be able to upload a reverse shell. And let me do PWE, yeah, I'm in this file. So let's put, I think it's put rev. I have a reverse shell in my downloads directory, if you can see here, rev shells. You can go to revshells.com and just get a, or just go to pentest monkey and put in it. But I've already have one, so I'm just gonna put this in. Put rev.php. And we've done that, that's up, so we do ls. We can see that in the directory. So let's get back over to here. Let's get this users, let's change to this users directory through LFI. So let's put in files.rev.files.rev.php. So now we've done that, one thing we should do is get ready to create a reverse shell. So if we do ls again here, and we do cat interactive, what I want to do now is create an interactive reverse shell. So one of the things we need to check first is see if there's a ZSH shell, as this won't let us get an interactive shell on the system, so let's do that. We can see we have ZSH, so we need to change that to a bash shell. So if you do this command here, exec bash login, if you don't have these commands, just copy them from my end and put them into your system. So we've done that, now we have an interactive shell. Now all we need to do is create a netcat listener. So I'm running a netcat listener LNVP 4848 on that port I just specified. Let's put enter. And I may be missing something here. FTP user files rev shells. Is it called files or is it called file? I may have messed up somewhere. Yeah, files. So FTP user files rev.php. Yeah, that's it then. And let me see if this is working. So it's not uploading it at all. The one thing I forgot to do is just to back out of this directory here. So we can just back out of here 3 times, or maybe even 4. So this is back out of here, and we can see this is running. So we need to put the word FTP here, so let me do this again. So let's just get back out of here. And let me just do this properly, do this 4 times. And right here, I think we need to put in the words FTP. Put that in, enter. FTP files, form. Oh, there, and we can see we have a reverse shell anyway, so let's just do ls. So I guess that, yeah, that did work. So if we just click enter, yeah, we can see we have got a reverse shell. So one thing we can do now, since we've run them commands from earlier, we can just do -3 and make it an interactive shell. And we've done that. Next command, Control Z, background it. Control Z, backgrounds the process. We want to paste this command in. Paste that. Now we should hopefully get an interactive shell. Let's put the letters LFG. And you can see that I pressed enter just then as well. Copy this in and paste that in. This should give us autocomplete. There, so we're in. So what else do we need to do now? Let's close this. So we need to go down here, flag free. So let's see, we're in as the system. So we could do find type f name flag. One thing I'll say about this interactive shell is that it's a lot slower than normally the other types. So if we do dev null, send all the errors to dev null, all the standard out error, and we can see this is running, and we get a bunch of results. We let this run, and we should hopefully get something in the end that tells us where the flags are located. Yeah, this is normally a lot slower than doing it, but we need an interactive shell to do most of the things we want to do later. And we can see we have a third flag hiding here, so if we do cut that out, third flag, let's paste that in, third flag is done and dusted. We've done that, so let's see what else do we need to do. So we need to get to the user Toby, so let's do sudo-l, sudo-l, put that in. See what we can run as sudo. We can run Toby as sudo, so let's do sudo-u. So we can run this user Toby without any passwords. So let's do this as give ourselves a binary bash shell. So let's put that in, and we're in as Toby. So are we in Toby's home directory? Not yet, but we can see we have a fully interactive shell indicated by the colors. So let's go to Toby's home directory. Let's go Toby. Let's do ls. So let's cut flag 4. Oops, let's just copy this name. Put that cut flag 4. And we get a flag child lifestyle. So let's put this in. That one is done. So we get a note here. So if you just look at note.txt. Hi Toby, we've got the cron job set up now, don't worry about getting that done. So let's check out etc cron tab. So let's do this properly, cron tab, and we can see we have jobs.cow.sh. so let's just cd a jobs in Toby's home directory ls.la. So we can execute this, so maybe we can write to this, I'm guessing. So if you can see, this is Toby cat cow.sh. So this may be something we could do as a reverse shell. As we can see, this is running as mat. This may have been created by Toby, but it is running as mat. So if we can do this, we may be able to get another reverse shell. So we could open nano, but for one of the things I want to do again is we need to get this shell set up. So if we get here, if we do this again, we'll see we have a z.sh shell. So let's go down here and paste that in, and yeah, that is it. Now we're ready to create a reverse shell. So let's go to revshelves.com, get rid of this, we don't need that anymore, we already have access. So let's go to revshelves, we're set as bash. This is my OpenVPN IP address, the Tun 0 IP, and the port I'm missing on is 4848. So I'm going to copy this, and I'm going to nano cow.sh, and we are in. So let's paste that command in. This is running as a bash script anyway. It'll copy this command there, and then it'll run our reverse shell, our sneaky reverse shell. So let's save that, and let's go back to here, netcat lnvp 4848, and it'll just be netcat lnvp with a dash 4848. Let that run, and we'll see what will happen now. So we'll just have to wait for a bit, and we're already in, so we didn't need to wait that long anyway. So let's make this an interactive shell as well, as it's always useful to have an interactive shell. We can do more things with it. So let's put that in, Python 3. If we don't know what version of Python we're running, we can just do which Python to see what version we're running. So now we need to background the process. Control Z. Copy this command in. This raw echo command, put that in. And we've done that. Now I think it's FG. Then we need to copy this final command in. So FG. And let's do this command here. Export term X. Put that in. And we have a fully interactive shell. If I do ls, and if I do if I do up, you can see there we can use the terms. So let's cut flag 5.txt. We've done that. So we've got that now. So we've got the third flag. We only have 2 more left to do. So let's enter that, and if we do sudo dash L again, whoops, if I could spell sudo dash L, we can see we can run will with another reverse shell, which is very, very fun. So if you see here, will, no password, bin, python 3, backhoe, blah blah blah. So we can run something as root in, I think we're in Matt's home directory, yes we are. So let's cd as scripts. Actually, before that, we look at the node quickly, that may help. Node.txt. So we can see, hi Matt, set up your sudo rights, Python as my user. So pretty much you can only run the script with sudo, so it should be safe. As we can see, this is not safe at all, so we can just create a reverse shell, another one. So scripts, ls. So let's ls-la. So we can see this is running as a bat. So let's look at this command first of all. So if you come here, we can see if we enter a number, we can run a script as a user. So number one, we'll just pretty much do a bunch of commands. So that's the first script done and dusted. So let's look at the second one, will.script.py. We can see we get something a bit more interesting. Import OS, import system from CMD. Basically, we can see this is just going to run some commands here, and it's going to whitelist a bunch of commands that is entered. And at the end, it's going to enter this command here. So arg1, say if you enter 1, it'll run one of these 3 scripts from here. So since this command here is running as will, and it's getting the command from Matt's script, what we could do, we could modify this script here and then run it through the script. It may sound complicated, but it's nowhere near as bad as it sounds. So if you do nano cmd.py, press enter, type in import OS, and if you go down here, and if I remember the command correctly, I think it's OS system. Oops. One of the good things about this shell is that it's never bloody works because it's so slow. So if we tab, we're back in. So tab again. We're in the right place. So import OS system. So if we do the curly braces, so we're gonna just do bin bash here. So let's do bin bash like that, and so if we just put in these parentheses here to highlight the commands, as we can see that's how they highlighted them there. So if we do that, we can see that's highlighted now. So hopefully this should work. If we do Control X and Y to save it and enter, so we should be able to run this as will. So if we do -L, if I can spell sudo right, sudo -L, so we can see that. So let's do that again, sudo -L, sudo -L. So we can run this as the user will. So we can do sudo -u will. So we're gonna do this, and we're just gonna put 1 at the end. So I'm going to put the letter 1 here, and we're in as will, so we've just got a bash shell as will. So if we do ls, and if we cd home, and we can get, I think we're still in the wrong directory. If we do pwe, we're still in Matt's, so let's get out of here. Cd will ls cat flag _6.txt. There's flag 6. So put that in, that's done. So we could do sudo -L again. Well, sudo -L. we can see we can't really do anything like that, as we need a password. We could have a look around, or we could just do the easier method and just use linps. As we've checked pretty much most, we can do ID. We can say we're in the admins group, so we could just do CD. Well, we could change. Well, we could CD var logs. As in the admin group, you can look at log files. So if you do var logs, CD var log. If I remember correctly, var log, and if you do ls, we may be able to see some authentication logs. So if we do cat auth log, auth.log, grep that out, -i for any case, -a that helps with binary, that's case insensitive here, case insensitive. And if you do password, it may show some passwords, and we can see just passwords for all the users, but we have nothing for root, and it just doesn't teach. That's just the default password. That's nothing at all to worry about. But pretty much we have no passwords to go off of, so the last thing we can do is just go back to the home directory and use linps. So let's close all these tabs, as we don't need this shell anymore. So if you go back here, we can exit out of here. Oh my god. Here. So there we go, and let's do cd user share linps. That's where linps is stored. If you don't have linps installed, you can do sudo apt install ps to install it. But I already have it installed, so I'm going to do python 3-m web http web server. So let's get back to this figure here. We want to get this over. So we need to put in your IP address. Mine's up here. It'll be your OpenVPN IP address, and we're listening on the port 8000. Let's do linps.sh. Put that in. Permission denied. So since we have permission denied, we could always, actually we're in the wrong directory anyway, but we can just go to temp, as we'll always have permission right there. So if we get back the last command here, we'll get this over, and we've got that over, so we can change mod plus x this. So let's do that, and let's run this command. So let's go back here and run linps.sh. Let this run for a bit, and once it's done, we'll get back. So guys, the scan has run. So I want to show you something that I found very interesting in the scan. So if we go up, it's not this one here, it's a bit higher up. You would be able to see an ID RSA key here somewhere, just right here. So we can see we have a key here, key.60 base 64, so we know it's base 64 encoded. So we could have a quick look at this. So we could cut this here, and I think it's base 64 / D code, and we see we have an ID RSA key. And if we have a look at this again, so let me copy this down first. So if we go back here, and if we just remove all these commands, I think it's base 64. Let's have a look here again. So B64, and if we do ls-la, we can see this was created by root. Yeah, root, and it's readable by the admin group. And if we do ID, we are within the admin group. So we could log in as root now, since we have the ID RSA key. That wouldn't be a bad idea to do that. Also, let's just exit this. CD downloads, ls nano ID RSA, paste this in. We copy that in and over. So we want to change mod 600, as that's what you need for an ID RSA key to log in as SSH. So if we do root, and the IP address will be a bit different for us. IP address is here. Let's paste that in. So if we do ID RSA, yes please, log us in. Yes, we'll accept. we'll just wait for this to happen. It may take a little bit as the machine's pretty slow. I'll close this now, save space and memory. So we do ls, we can see we have flag 7, cat flag 7.txt, and we got the final flag. We run all 7 flags. The room is pretty much done and dusted. So let me get rid of this. And I've just entered it, and we should have done the room by now.